Hello and welcome to my first look at the Imperial Armour Index Xenos book by Forge World. One of these will cost you £15. It's a softback book from Forge World that consists of over 70 data sheets for a lot of the units that Forge World make, specifically the Xenos ones. It's in the same vein as all the index books that came out over the summer, along with the 8th edition box set and the new rules and things, and it allows you to bring your Forge World models through into the 8th edition, be it the Xenos ones, your Titans, your Imperial Knights, and your Space Marines. They also have a Chaos one as well, I think. And in the same vein, I think they're £15, so this one is £15. The one thing I will say is if you like the smell of books, this one's a good one. It smells so good, I have to say. It smells exactly the same as the very first Imperial Armour books that Forge World brought out. I want to say back 15 years ago now. So there's definitely a factor of olfactory nostalgia going on. So this is the reverse of the book. It says over the 70 data sheets, you've got Asuryani, which is basically Eldar, Drukhari, Necron dynasties, the Tau Empire, Orc, and Tyranids. So there you go. Let's have a look. This isn't going to be a review. My review will go into it in a lot more depth and look at all of the data sheets and go through them in depth and compare them with other codexes and other units and things like that. So here's the contents. The book is quite thin. It's probably one of the thinnest books in the Index series from Forge World. 96 pages, not even 100 pages. Would have been nice if they did it in hardback. The main reason I got this was for the Dimacheron that I bought. And also if I do want to get any Eldar units next year, then there are the rules in here too. I'm sure Forge World will make hardback versions of these with specific lore and things. I would like to see them do like a complete, Necron book, but with lore and backstory and things like that for all of those other units that they do. In a similar vein to like the codexes for that Games Workshop do. I would really be into that. But as it stands, we've just got this, 100-page book or whatever, full of the data sheets. So this just explains the data sheets, how they're laid out, and then it introduces additional rules in the form of macro weapons, which are the truly gigantic proportioned weapons that are often the same size of armoured vehicles themselves. Normally, you put them on Titans, and the rules here are that a model armed with a macro weapon may not fire if it is moved previously in the turn, unless the firing unit also has a Titanic keyword. So that's the thing, if you see the macro weapon, make sure that it's a Titanic unit that is firing it. And also, no macro weapon can be used to make Overwatch attacks. When you're using it against other Titanic units or buildings, the damage inflicted is double. You double after any randomized damage has been rolled for. So basically you don't roll, if it's damage d6, you don't roll 2d6, you just roll 1d6 and say it's a 5, then you're bumping it up to 10 damage. Quite horrific, these macro weapons. So it starts off with Necrons. You've got the Necron army list. You've got a Canoptech Tombstalker for elites, Canoptech Acanthrites, fast attack, a Tomb Sentinel, fast attack, Night Shroud, which is flying, basically the croissant, the flying croissant, the Sentry Pylon, and a Tomb Citadel. There is an example of a Tomb Citadel. You can get that from Forge World. It looks absolutely stunning. If I had a Necron army, I would have got one of those by now. The Tesseract Arc is a heavy support choice. Kutlak, the World Killer, I think is HQ, and Toholok, the Blinded, another HQ. Then for a Lord of War, you've got a Gorse Pylon. Then Tyranids, Tyranid Army List. It explains Synapse, Instinctive Behaviour, and Shadow in the Warp, just like the Codex. You've got a Melanthrope, which is an HQ. A Dimacheron, which is a fast attack, which is brilliant. It means you don't have to clog up your heavy support choice, that you'd normally take with a Tyrannofex or something. Fast attack, Meiotic Spores. A heavy support choice is a Stonecrusher Carnifex Brood, and that is ridiculous. The Wrecker Claws are strength ×2, so that'll be a 12. Barbed Hierodule, so we're going on to the Lord of Wars now. So Barbed Hierodule, the barbed one is the one with the biocannons, the big biocannons. Then you've got another Lord of War, the Harridan, the big flyer. A Hierophant Bio-Titan, which is the big 270-pound Titan, power level of 90, 50 wounds, good luck on that one. Then the Scythe Hierodule, which is another Lord of War, similar to the barbed one, but it doesn't have the big cannons, it just has the bioacid spray instead, which the barbed one doesn't have the spray. Then Orcs, you've got the abilities, here we go in the mob rule. HQ, you've got Zadsnark the Ripper, Orc Mech Boss Buzzgob, and Grot Tanks. Well, Grot Tanks are fast attack. A Grot Mega Tank, another fast attack choice. A Squigoth, and then into heavy support. So you've got a Squigoth, a Mecha Dread, which is great. A Lifter Wagon, a Big Track, a Battle Wagon with Super Cannon, and then a Lord of War, a Kill Tank. 24 wounds, that Kill Tank. Then you've got a transport option, which is a Chinook Warcopter, love the play on their name there. And then you've got another Lord of War choice, which is a custom Stomper, which basically has the Mega Claw instead of another weapon on its side. And then the final one is a Gargantuan Squigoth. Cheap for power, 35 wounds, save of 4+. But the Gargantuan Squigoth, I looked today, and it is the 5th of December. Looked today, and it actually is out of stock. On Forge World's website. Then we go on to Drakari, which is basically Dark Eldar. You've got some keywords there, but no abilities are chosen. Heavy support straight away. Reaper, a Tantalus, and that's it. Just the two units there. A Reaper and a Tantalus. Tau Empire. You've got quite a few abilities: Greater Good and Marker Lights. HQ, Shazo, Rimmer. If I pronounce these wrong, please forgive me. I'm not a Tau player at all. Another HQ choice, Shazo Ralai. Another HQ, Commander in XV81 Crisis Battlesuit. An Elite choice, a DX4 Technical Drones. Another HQ, Commander in XV84 Crisis Battlesuit. Elite choice, XV9 Hazard Support Team. Fast Attack, XV109 Yavara Battlesuit. Heavy support, XV107 Ravana Battlesuit, and then a Lord of War choice, which is an XV139 Ta'unar Supremacy Armour, or I'd call it Taunar, but there we go. That's the big crazy one with the 2 arm mounted tri-axis iron cannons, which is just insane. It looks so cool though. Power level 55 for that one. Fast attack, a Tetra Scout Speeder Team. A Piranha TX42 Light Skimmer, and then a heavy support heavy gun drone squadron. Then another one, a TX7 heavy bombardment hammerhead gunship, a TX7 fire support hammerhead gunship, and then a flyer choice is a DX6 Remora stealth drone squadron, a Barracuda AX52, a Tiger Shark fighter bomber, a Tiger Shark AX10, power level of 30 that one. And another flyer, an Orca dropship, which is a lovely looking model and appropriately sized too. And then for a whopping power level of 100 for a Lord of War choice is the Manta Super Heavy dropship. This thing is huge. It's got a much bigger footprint than like the Warlord Titan. It's not as expensive as the Warlord Titan. That's still the most expensive model, just because of all the detail and things. But this thing, what it can carry, I'll talk about more of it in the review video. But pretty much, it's got 2 decks. The upper deck can transport 55 models, and the lower deck can transport 145 models. You can keep your Thunderhawk, seriously. And then you've got a couple of buildings, you've got a remote sensor tower and a drone sentry turret. So Tau have had a lot of great units there, a lot of love. It's good. They were one of the newest factions, but you know, compared to sort of Dark Eldar and even Orcs, I mean, it looks like Tau have got more than Orcs there as well as Dark Eldar combined. It would be nice to see Dark Eldar and Orcs get some new models and things, and even Tyranids too. Tau have had a lot of love in the past few years and things, but it's just great that they've made a Manta, isn't it, really? Azurani, or Eldar, The keywords, you've got Ancient Doom and Battle Focus, same as in the Codex. Elite Choice, Shadow Spectres, quite decent weapons, good movement, good save as well of 3+, and they're good looking models. They're on Forge World's website. However, we all know the Eldar Elite section in the Codex is, there's a lot of competition there, isn't there? Fast Attack, Wasp Assault Walker. Interesting point, it being December the 5th today. I went on Games Workshop's website and the War Walker's out of stock, or it says no longer available actually, which is probably even worse. And then you've got an HQ choice, which is a Wraithseer. So yes, you can take, and a Wraithseer is basically a Wraith Lord with a Ghost Spear, but you can give it a D cannon or Wraith cannon too. So you can have a complete Wraith army if you really wanted, with this as your HQ, your Wraith Guard, Wraith Lords and Wraith Knights. Then a fast attack choice, you've got the Hornet, and a heavy support choice, a Warp Hunter. Another heavy support, the Lynx. That's a really nice model because of the Lynx Pulsar, which is a very decent weapon. Then Lord of War, you've got Scorpion and a Cobra. Scorpion has the twin Scorpion Pulsar, which is 60-inch range, and a Cobra has the D-Impaler. Interesting that both of those two aren't the macro weapons though at all. It would have been nice if they were. I think the D-Impaler was actually a D weapon or destroyer weapon in the previous sort of rules. Fast attack, you've got a Nightwing and a Phoenix, even though they're pretty much flyers, so it's odd that they're not flyers in this. Then you've got a Lord of War choice, which is a Vampire Raider or a Vampire Hunter. The Raider is the one that can transport 30 models, so think of it as like the Eldar version of a Thunderhawk. And then another Lord of War, you've got a Scathach Wraith Knight. I hope I've said that right. There's two versions of this, one with the Inferno Lances and one with the Death Shroud cannon. They're both pretty awesome and pretty scary. Then you've got a Revenant Titan, which is 60 power points, but it does have 32 wounds, and its movement is 32 inches, which is horrific for a Titan. Then you've got a fast attack choice, a Corsair Cloud Dancer Band. Like with the other factions, I would have liked them to have kept with the same order. So have your HQ, your troops, your elites, your fast attack, your heavy support, your transport and your Lord of War, but they've mismatched the order somehow. Then after that Corsair Cloud Dancer Band, you've got an HQ choice, which is Irilith. I don't know whether that is a model on the web store. Then another Lord of War, which is a Phantom Titan, which is the biggest Titan that they have. Its power level is 140. I think that makes this the most expensive unit in this book at 140. It does have 60 wounds, and it does have a macro weapon, which is the Dire Pulsar, which is only 120-inch range, but it's a macro 2d6 type with a strength of 14. Then you've got a troop choice, which is a Corsair Reaver Band, and finally a Corsair Sky Reaver Band. And that's it for all the units, because you're then on to the appendices. So included here is all the points values for match play. So you've got Necrons, their war gear, Tyranids, the Tyranid war gear, the Orcs and their war gear, Dark Eldar, Tau, quite a lot for Tau, yeah, still a lot for Tau, and Eldar. And that's it, it just ends abruptly. So there you go, that is my first look at the Imperial Armour Index Xenos. £15, it just has all of the data sheets, which is good because it means that you can use them in your 8th edition 40k armies. So if you have those models, you can use them straight away using these rules, which is brilliant. Like I say, in the review, I'll go into some of the units in more detail and compare it to the other Imperial Armour books and the other codexes too. But that's just my first look at this book. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.